ChatGPT is messing with people's minds. Let's look first at what's happening and how.
In the past couple of months, you may have noticed more and more stories about people being driven to psychosis by long interactions with ChatGPT.
Other AI chatbots are available, and they all share this potential for harm. I remember noticing the first one in May. There was Rolling Stone magazine who talked to a number of spouses who all started using ChatGPT heavily. Initially for innocent users, but then, within a matter of weeks, they were radicalized into messianic delusions. One claimed to have awakened the machine god into sentience and be its prophet. Weird flex, but okay. A month later, the New York Times runs a big story on similar cases. Now this time the juicy specifics revolve around a New York accountant. Like for conspiracy theories, it also affects intelligent, educated people, all the more so because they think it won't. Bro went from a philosophical conversation about simulation theory to full-blown delusion, culminating in ChatGPT suggesting he stop taking his psychiatric medication and substitute some ketamine instead, so he could crack the code to the Matrix. These stories keep on coming. So what's going on? This stuff shouldn't come as a surprise. The dangers of being radicalized by an AI companion have been demonstrated over and over again. They now even have their own Wikipedia page, just created the last month, but there were plenty of stories like that before these. These are different because it's ChatGPT that we are being pushed to use for absolutely everything. The previous winter, the New York Times ran the story of a teen taking their own life after sustained use of a persona built-in character AI. In the spring of 2023, we have the story of a Belgian man taking his own life after a long exchange with a chatbot on Chai. Later that year, we've had the trial, then sentencing of Jaswant Singh Chahil, a man who tried to assassinate the Queen to impress his replica girlfriend.
What?
But his breaking into the grounds of Windsor Castle, again after only 2 weeks of heavy use, dates back to Christmas 2021, well before ChatGPT, but after Replica switched their algorithm to use a transformer model. Uh-oh. And of course, 6 months before ChatGPT's release, there's Blake Lemoine, who lost his job at Google, working on their Lambda LLM chatbot, because he decided to go public with his own delusion that the bot was sentient. There's a reason this keeps happening. Let's sum up the problem. The pattern is this. An individual, generally isolated but not always, enters a set of deep conversation with a bot. Over a matter of weeks, they build a feedback loop. The human sees their ideas confirmed and elaborated on. The LLM, as always, is only just outputting the next likely token, but for a context window that grows larger and larger, with more and more wacky stuff in it, with the system prompt, you are an assistant, etc., is now a tiny part of the context all the way at the start. This makes the chatbot user delusional, they may act on it with consequences, stupid games are played, unsurprisingly, stupid prizes are won. Looking at this like a social scientist, we need to list counterfactuals and voice what is unsaid in this discourse. First, sadly, these people may have spiraled out anyway without machine assistance, as so many do. This is as much a public provisions for mental health problem as it is an AI problem.
Second,
no technology is risk-free. It's really about reducing the risk by education, like this video, and regulation. Motor vehicles are killing tens of thousands of people every day, mutilating many more in creative and gruesome ways. In the last 5 seconds, someone died on the road in the US. And finally, this is classic sensationalism. It's a media discourse covering certain issues, but with emotionally loaded stories of outliers in the phenomenon. But then again, sensationalism works. There are a couple of them, but originally it's the story of one boy with a rare form of epilepsy that got medical cannabis made available in the UK. Likewise, the coroner's report on the suicide of Molly Russell arrived in time to add a clause to the UK's Online Safety Act, back when it was still the Online Safety Bill. More importantly, for each case where it leads to a news story, How many more low-key cases are going on? How many others are being provoked and confirmed into delusions by chatbots? Delusions are something a bit below that. Propaganda, psyops, marketing, whatever you want to call it. Just like what we read / watch / listen to in the media shapes our views and our thinking, anyone consuming large amounts of synthetic text on any topic will have their cognitive framework and their epistemology shaped by it. That is, what they think and how they think about it. Ultimately, our brain too is a neural network that's being trained on the content it's been exposed to. So, exposing your nervous system to synthetic content, which reproduces biases in its data, or outright pushing the political agenda of the manufacturer, means it's going to absorb them. Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot. But for now, I will leave you on this. Do not think that we really, are immune to this. You don't even need to have long conversations about the nature of reality. Even when we do short exchanges, just one prompt, one response, it cooks us, just more slowly. Ultimately, our reality is shaped in large part, in the absence of direct experience, by our information environment. Bear in mind what goes into your information environment, like we do our diet, or like we should. Better yet, get yourself some direct experience. So why not, once you have liked and subscribed, of course, put down the YouTube brain rot and go and touch grass. That's a tree, but it works, you get it.